Hi, I'm Steve.
I'm Dawn.
I'm Susan.
And you're watching
Word of Mouth.
Polygamy, you mean lots of wives?
Not wives, fiancés. You get all the advantages of married life with none of the drawbacks. Fiancés are much friendlier than wives. And you don't need all that many. I do very well with three.
Three?
Three is the ideal number. Less than three would be monotonous. More than three is way too tiring. Three is the dream.
The story was about a character that was played by Bradley Whitford, and he is living in a flat, an apartment in Paris.
His old friend, who he hasn't seen in many years, drops in on him unexpectedly, only to find that Bernard is engaged to three different women at once. These three women don't know about each other's existences. And the way Bernard keeps them straight is they're all stewardesses on different airlines, and he knows their schedules.
He had a good thing going, he thought, until they all started showing up at about the same time, and that's when chaos ran wild and things got very, very hairy.
There is one other character in the show. It's Bernard's maid, played by Christine Baranski, who tries to keep, although she and Bernard seem to have a real love-hate kind of relationship going on, she does try to keep all of the women separated for his sake.
There was a lot of physical humor. There was a lot of the guys dancing around the stage and the women doing silly things. But it was funny. The people in the audience laughed out loud through the entire play.
It was like an extended Three's Company episode, I thought. There was a lot of stuff going on in different rooms off stage and trying to keep all the women separate.
They tried to make every scene and every line one of laughter, and I don't think it worked that well.
I thought all three flight attendants were gorgeous. They were beautiful to look at. They were sexy. They just were entertaining. They were great. I mean, I couldn't say that I liked one better than the other. They each did their performance perfectly.
The flight attendant for TWA is a New Yorker. Flight attendant for Alitalia is Italian. And the flight attendant for Lufthansa, she's German, a little bit in the Nazi sort of way, but she is loud and overbearing, but also very passionate.
All of them with their own unique accents and ways of speaking, and I found the accents tiresome. It was after a while they didn't sound like the countries they were trying to portray.
Mary McCormick played the German flight attendant, and she was great. She a little overacted, but I thought it added to the silliness of the play.
There were some scenes that Mary McCormick really walked away with playing her.
Catherine Hahn played the American flight attendant, and there was a scene that she kept kissing the friend, and then she would do like Wonder Woman poses afterwards. That one was just funnier than the next.
Gina Gershon was just wonderful, I thought. I've seen her in movies. She really did a nice job with her accent. I did not find it distracting at all.
Bradley Whitford is known primarily for his role in West Wing, and in my opinion, West Wing was a much better role for him than this one.
I kept imagining him in the Oval Office, and this role is so far removed from that I thought it was distracting.
Mark Rylance was hilarious. He had by far the juiciest part. It was unpredictable. You couldn't predict what he would say or where he was going with it.
I was exhausted watching him. He just looked like he used every ounce of energy he had to perform on that stage.
The maid, played by Christine Baranski, she was a hoot also.
She had this fake French accent that was very hard for me to follow at times, but her comedic timing was very good. But like I said, I just lost a little bit with the accent.
I wouldn't say that she did a great job on her French accent. I found it a little bit distracting, but just, you know, she can roll her eyes better than anybody else in theater. I thought the women outshone the men in this one. I thought this was a women's show. I thought the women had parts that were meatier, and the men were kind of skipping around the stage a little bit too much for me.
The women come across silly, stupid, needy. I think it's dated. I mean, the play takes place 40-something years ago, and in those days probably it would have played a lot better.
I wasn't troubled by the fact that for most of the play you have a sense that this guy is really taking advantage of these three women. I think I didn't have a problem with it because I didn't really think about it all that much. It's not the kind of play that you think about a whole lot.
It had that 60s theme, it had that Austin Powers feel to me, it had like the guy that everybody loves and all the girls who want to love him and fighting over him, so I did think of Austin Powers as I was watching this play.
I thought they did a really good job of evoking a real era with the stage set and the costumes and the colors.
It's not my kind of show. I like nothing better to sit through a show and laugh and have a good time, but I think this basically was silly and not as much fun as I would have liked it to be.
The first act was a little slow, it was a little silly, and I found it a bit overacted. But by the time the second act came, I was more connected to the characters and I understood the silly jokes and I laughed out loud a lot more.
All in all, I'd rather watch a rerun of Seinfeld on TV to get my laughs than go to see this show.
There's a lot of really good stuff on Broadway right now. I'm not sure this is something that I would recommend, although I think for parents who are looking for something they can take their kids to, teenagers, I think that this would be a lot of fun for teenagers.
I would definitely recommend this to people. It's funny and it's exciting and you laugh and it's a feel-good play. You walk out at the end and you had a great afternoon or a great evening.
You're an old-fashioned stay-at-home. You like things to be nice and smooth. You hate complications. You're too nervy for them.
That's you to a T.
You think? Don't you? Maybe.
Why, there, see, you admit it to yourself. Oh, baby, I know you so well. You are the perfect one-woman man, the classic prototype husband.
Let's not get carried away.